Hey folks, Ajay the CEO here. We got ourselves another install that is coming up. When I was in Chicago, they actually reached out to me and we ended up ordering everything and while I was in Chicago and had it delivered here to my house. But we're back and we're gonna go through this whole setup. I haven't done one of these in a while of actually physically seeing me connect everything up. So let's go through what this church is going with. Now, this is a kind of a portable church, so we're not going to be able to mount anything. The pastor specifically didn't want that. So we have three 20X PTZs. We have AVKANS joystick that I always use, BV-Tech PoE switch to power all of this stuff. I only have my portable monitor because I didn't want to actually break out everything. I mean, their monitor is right there that I'm going to use. We're going with a mini PC, because that was cheaper than it was going with a computer and a little bit more powerful. I have these AVKAN switchers that I've had a ton of them, and I'm going with this over the ATEM solely because they want to be able to stream to two places at the same time. So that's the reason why we're going to do that. Also, we need to hardwire this. Now, because the PTZs are not going to be mounted on the wall, they wanted tripod, so that's what we got for that. We're going to be connecting their audio, and I had these left over. I did a review of these XLR over Ethernet. I had two of them left over, so I'm just like, whatever. This is I'll be able to send the audio from their audio mixer. And I think I was saying about this needs to be in the audio is at the front near the pulpit, and I can't remember what they said. So I have this just in case. If the stuff needs to be set in the back, we can just send it here. If not, we'll just plug it up directly, and then we'll plug the audio from here directly into the board as well too. Got a bunch of cables down there, and I don't have them. I left them downstairs. I have the fiber optic HDMIs because they said that each one of these are going to be up to like 50 feet away from where this is going to be. So I think the longest run I might have to make a new cable is if this goes in the back, but that's about it. And for whatever reason, it is blazing hot here in my house, and I might need to open this window up a little bit, but that ain't concerned with this video. Let's go ahead and set this up. I'm gonna go through everything, kind of do I was gonna do a time lapse, but let me set you up here, and I got to be mindful because I got light coming in here. If I go anywhere else, it's going to get too dark. Maybe I can put you right here, and once I get a tripod set up, I'll actually show what's going on with everything. All right, so let's actually do that first. We're going to get my tripod here. And again, most of these PTZs, I mean, they have the quarter thread at the bottom. So, I mean, it could be used very easily. The other thing with this setup, I needed it to be as small as possible because I believe this is a rented building. So they're going to have to break this down and set this up every Sunday or every time they have a service. So we got the bags for the tripods. Very, very sturdy tripods. These are similar to the ones I've actually used when I was doing sporting events and things like that. But for whatever reason, some schools didn't learn their lesson from COVID. And they're like, we don't need to stream, or they're streaming themselves in varying levels of quality, but that's their choice. So let's get this set up, and then I'm gonna maybe move my camera to this so I can have a better shot. And got the ball head so we can have this leveled, and it's almost level. Has a little bubble at the top, and let's tighten this down so it ain't going nowhere. All right. Now it does have this little detachable head on here. So we're going to put our PTZ on that. So we're going to go through the whole process, setting up everything. And I'm doing this downstairs in my kitchen just because I didn't want to carry all this stuff upstairs and then I gotta bring it right back downstairs. Same old usual stuff, joystick, not joystick, remote, mount, all that other fun stuff. And here, all right, these are NDI, so technically, could I hook these up without a wire? Yes, I could, but again, I don't want to introduce a new skill of having to know network topology and all that other stuff. Just want to make it pretty straightforward for them. Let's get that in place. And tighten that down. I'm actually going to lower this because I don't need this to be super high for me. All right, that's it. Gonna rinse and repeat all three of them. I made some Ethernet cables for them based off of the distance that they told me. And I need to make another connection so I can connect to my internet down here. I may order a small rack similar to what I did at First United Methodist. So, and then put a switch in the front so they can just hit on and off to turn everything on and off. But if they're breaking this down, now that I think about it, I might not need to do that. And I'm gonna be honest, coming back from being in Chicago for a whole week, I am honestly drained, but the show must go on. I really don't have really that much of an opportunity to rest, but that has absolutely nothing to do with this video. So take that for what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these feet on here just in case so that it's not gonna scuff up the table. I really think I might put this in a rack, but my concern is people will just take the cables and just wrap them around. Which is not good, could damage that stuff, but oh well. Got power here, and I need to actually get a surge protector myself for down here. So this will go here, and I actually need to get my pen so I can mark these so I can know which one is which in their placement. Normally put like a mark on the back of the camera so when I'm setting it up on site, I'll know which one is which. Again, I won't be able to know what the IP address range is because I'm obviously not there. I have no idea what their stuff is. And I'm looking for my pen. All right. Honestly, I haven't even finished unpacking from coming from Chicago, but I'm just gonna put in this corner a 1, and that's why I know that will be the one that's in the back, and that's how I'm gonna link it to the joystick and all that other fun stuff. I'll just use this plug over here. Ow. All right, got my switch here. Like I said, I had made a bunch of cables. I'm just going to connect them here. And worst case, I might have to buy some. No, I think I still got another spool of cable downstairs. If not, I'm just probably gonna have to just buy another 500 foot and just make some cables there on the fly. I mean, I could buy them but I just don't like the fact of paying the amount for what they're charging when I can actually, the same amount they're charging for these little cables, I can make tons of cable for the same price that they charge typically for one cable. That's why I kind of show y'all how to make cables yourselves, because once I learned how to do that years and years and years ago, I do not buy cables, I just make my own. And for any installers, I always get the 1,000-foot boxes of cable for very events like this. I'll have stuff left over, and then I can use it in other places. Oh, let's take the cap off of there. All right, we got this one powered on. We see we got our light. All right, it's doing its calibration. And I might have to get the fiber optic HDMI cable from downstairs. All right, let's do the same thing with the last two. Like I said, I haven't done a video like this in a while, so yes, I'm going through every step. It actually helps me from an editing standpoint as well too. Because if I'm gonna do everything, as long as I don't say something wrong or miss out on a step or something like that, it's pretty straightforward. Now, what is all this extra stuff in here? Oh, that's for a phone. And I'm gonna move the camera so you can see a little bit better, but this is just kind of where we're at right now. And by doing this, hopefully this will help the ministry to when they have to set this up and break it down, they can kind of follow along with the steps. And just leveling the tripod. Take the head off, and then we're gonna just put another joystick on here. All right, and in similar fashion, I'm just gonna go ahead and label this now. This will be camera 2. Because I think they were adamant that they wanted to do one camera in the back and then one's flanking on either side. I suggested putting one in the front, but they said they didn't want to do that. So I relinquished that. That's what the customer wanted. So I will leave it up to them. Now, the good thing is these are on tripods. So if they ever sit back and was like, you know what, we need to have a shot like this, it's not like this has been bolted to the wall. So that is the advantage of doing stuff like this. All right, take the cap off. And another Ethernet cable connected here. And we got power on that one. One more tripod to go. The other reason I do this as well, and I order most of the stuff that I do an install, because I do this. Because last thing I want is to get on site, or like when I just came from Chicago, that's the only difference, is most of the time I have everything come to me and I will hook this up in my garage, my office, my kitchen, like I'm doing right now, to make sure that everything is working. Because last thing you want from a client and a business standpoint is to get on site and then find out the stuff that you had them order that you didn't get a chance to put your eyeballs on is not working. That's not a good look. All right, make sure everything is tight. Let's get this last PTZ set up, and then we'll set the joystick up. And I still need to run a cable so I can get internet on my setup. All right, this will be 3. Got that hooked up, and we got one last Ethernet cable that I already ran that's right here on the floor. Right here. And boom, we got power for our last one. So if I take you here, obviously, like I said, we got each one done, waiting for this to calibrate, and there it goes. Really straightforward. So now let's go ahead and hook up the joystick, and then I need to make a cable, like I said, so I can connect our PoE switch to everything, so that I can get an IP address. Granted, I don't need to do that, but that just makes it easier. And I'm gonna keep these as DHCP, contrary to what I normally would do, because I need to know what the IP address is there, because like I said, they do everything over Wi-Fi, and we don't do that. We want to have a stable connection, so that's why we're going to run a line from their router in the building. I've done this a couple of times at other churches where they had a similar type of restriction. And then we would get them going. So, and I made some other cables for our video switcher and the mini PC. Leave this on. Boom, there we go. So that's up and working. So I think I have some other Ethernet cables, so maybe I don't need to run downstairs. So got 1, 2, and I thought I had a third one. It might be in my bag, but we got it here. Now let's set up the video switcher. Brand new, had not been used. well, they're going to be the first ones to use it. I need to make sure that this doesn't need an update or anything like that. USB, power. And I like, again, another reason going with this one, because it has a screen built in, so I don't need to get another like portable monitor or anything. I could have done that and just had 2 portable monitors for their computer and for this, but nah, didn't need that. Plus, had so many companies send me these, and I'm like, they're just sitting in my closet after I've done a review. So like I said, we give them to a needy ministry. So in here, this one actually has a joystick on here. I'm not going to use that. We're going to give them a full-size joystick for that. We got our HDMI ends. So that will be number 1. This is actually 3. Our computer is going to be number 4, so we can do scripture and lyrics. Now, they didn't say anything about outputting to televisions, so I need to be prepared if that changes. I have a feeling it might. All right, I don't need this. I need another HDMI cable. Alrighty, our last one. And I actually will need another cable. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm tripping. I said I needed another cable for the computer. And that is actually right here. So we only got 4 inputs, but hopefully that will be enough for them. Let's connect this to our mini PC. Now, most of the time when I do a computer for clients, I set myself up as remote access so that if they have an issue and they call me, like I had a whole bunch of people calling me on Sunday when either I'm playing or I'm at a church training. When I have a moment, I can take my laptop and I can remote in to manage and see what in the world is going on. All right, this is the USB-C cable, and I specifically use the one that they provide. Even though I use different brands, I haven't always had a good result with some of these switchers that companies send me. So I use the exact one that they give me. All right, that's done. I need to set up the monitor for seeing our mini PC. See, and I'm running out of space, but I'm glad I did this down here, because I only got to go down 1 floor. And I gotta load this stuff in the car. Now, the other thing I did not get for them is a drive to record. Mainly because that stuff is still super expensive. And it was not mentioned. So I will call that out to them. Because I think when we were talking, I was actually getting prepared to go up here to Chicago, so I really didn't have everything. I was actually surprised that they were actually able to book a consultation with me, because my calendar was supposed to have been closed, but it was open for whatever reason. So we honor that. What else we got? We got to hook up an Ethernet cable for the computer. and for the switcher. So we got our 2 cables here, and I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. I'll take the cable around so y'all can see. So for our PC, hook that up back behind here. And then for our switcher. Now the beauty of this, it doesn't matter which one you plug this into, as long as they're plugged into your stuff. Alrighty, so we got everything hooked up. So let me go ahead and get a surge protector. I need to get my keyboard and mouse over here so we can get everything configured. Alrighty folks, so I went and got a keyboard, got everything else hooked up. One thing I didn't show, I mean I don't have a mixer down here, but we plugged in the audio cable. So this is gonna go into the board. I'm hoping it's XLR. If not, I do have 1/4 inch cables as well too. And I have a cable downstairs that the computer will go out to the mixer as well too. Again, I saw the mixer hasn't, actually, let me take that back. Now I'm remembering, they did send me pictures of it. So it is XLR. I just need to know if there is an available channel for to plug the computer in so the audio will go there. So right now we have the AVKANS software set up, and I need to change the density here so I can actually see more of what's going on here. Now again, we should, I was gonna say we should see the camera even though nothing is connected, because I don't know if you can see this, it's a blur. All of the cameras are defaulting to 192.168.1.10. So what I need to do is actually, I need to run a cable so I can get IP address and all this other stuff. So actually no, I don't need to do that. What we're gonna do is I can come in here and set each one of these. Now I don't know which one is which. So if we add this, and let me set this down so I can actually have a hand and a chair. And I know my overhead light is giving you a glare. I don't know. Pretty much all I'm gonna do is come in here and add one of these. I'm gonna come in here and add one of these to the client, and the password is admin. So I'm gonna add this one here. And let me turn the overhead light off because that's giving a glare. I still get a glare from the window, but hopefully y'all can see. So pretty much all I'm gonna do is use one of these to find out which camera is which. And connection failed. Of course it does. All right, so I have to make this cable because I messed up here. So let me delete this. I need to run a cable into this so we have internet, so that way I can actually assign this properly. What I was gonna do is just assign these different addresses and be able to get to it. And we actually, no, I don't need to do that. We can do that. So I'm gonna come in each one of these and set these to a static IP address. So that'll be, I'm gonna do this as 11. And the gateway will be 192.168.1.1. Again, I am gonna change this later. So that's 11. Do the same thing. We're gonna change this as 12. And that DNS, that's Google's. So that's all I'm changing. And I'm hopefully y'all can see this. And then change this one to 13. All right, now refresh. Boom, we have our IPs here. Now, because I am connected over a network as well, I need to change this Ethernet to be on that same network I just set up. So we're gonna turn off DHCP here, and we're gonna set an IP address as well. So this will be 192.168.1.8. I need to be in that same range. Even though I don't have internet, we are connected on the same network, so I will be able to see these. All right. So this mini computer is on Wi-Fi, but I am plugged in as well too. So now, if we add all of these, there we go. And we just need to see which one is which. And need to give it a name. Remote. All right, let's give it a name so we know which one is which. Let's see, it's just saying AV-E20. So I'm just going to call it Cam1, so that way it helps me identify which one is which, because I've already labeled them, so I need to match which one to which. So if I come in here, all right, so we're on camera 1 and we need to see which one is moving. All right, so that's actually camera 3. So we need to change the name of that to camera 3. Camera 3, save. So we got that one done. Are we going to be lucky on this? Probably not. Let's call that one camera 1. And now let's go to the view, which adjust it to that one. And now let's move and see which one it is. All right. So that actually is camera 1. Yay. So now we come in here. Now these names are going to stay the same as well too. So that will help us when we get there. So that's the last one. That'll be camera 2. All right. So we got them saved properly. I'm going to turn all the stuff on so the dates and all the other stuff are correct as well too. So we can now navigate to this. Now that we have this and our joystick, for right now, I'm going to do a static on this one as well too. Let's come over here to menu. We got to get rid of that noise. Turn off DHCP. We're going to set this to 1. And just out of habit, because I'm doing this in order. The camera started at 11, so I'm just going to change the joystick to 10. Got to change the gateway to match. All right, now let's turn off the beep. All righty, so now let's search for our cameras. We're going to search again. We could use VSCA over IP on VIF or NDI, but since we're using the network, we're going to go to VSCA. And because we're on the network, there we go. We see all of them. So camera 1, that is set to number 1. So that's saved. 2 is 2. And 3 is 3. Now we probably will need to go in and change the port so we can actually see it on the screen. But if we go to camera 1, see connected, So if we start moving it, that works. So preview, we might have to go in here and change the path. Oh, no, yay. So there we go. So if we go to camera 2, it says we're connected. We're just waiting for the data to come through. Let's make sure. So we are connected. So we go to camera 2. There we go. And then go to camera 3. Connected. There we go. Seeing all of them. And we might have to, okay, there it goes. There's the other one. There you see me. You can see my messy kitchen table. So we got it here. If we go to camera 2, and there it goes. So we got our preview. All of that is set up. Yay. So now let's go ahead and turn on our video switcher. We just saw that move, so it connected here. And I did download, I think Windows was acting up on me. I did download the newer version of Presenter. And I think when I removed the icon for whatever reason, I was getting rid of the old version and installing the new one. And I think I might have did them backwards. Oh well, it's there. So now, as you can see, we have all our inputs here. We can queue up to go to the next one. We have our desktop. So with this, we also need to turn off the taskbar so it shows up on all of these. So show taskbar on all displays, turn that off. So that way when we do our full screen here, see it shows up perfectly fine. So yay. And then I'm gonna need to download the stuff on here so that we can get in and do the streaming. Again, it's not a touch screen. I think they had another version that is a touch screen. All right, so our network, we will be here. And then there's our streaming stuff that we can upload, or we can go to the web page to do that. But we do have all our cameras showing up here. We can do our cut and auto to switch to that. Or we can use our T-bar here. And more importantly, like I said, we have all of our inputs. So let me log in real quick. All right, we're logged in. And let's see. Is it going to pull down any of my stuff? I think it's choking because it's looking on my network, my Ethernet instead of my Wi-Fi. I need to just go ahead and pull a cable. But we do have everything set up. And then we'll put the cameras in different locations and everything. Connect the audio, connect here, and then set up the streaming. Again, obviously I don't have their streaming keys, so got to go in here and set all that stuff up. Actually, let's go back and go to the network. And let's go ahead and apply. And I forgot, this does allow you to hook up a keyboard to this. And it won't let me change it, but I need to hook up a keyboard. Actually, I think I got, that's a different model that does that. But All right, so I mean, I think that's mainly about it. Outside of needing to know if they want to hook it up to different monitors or something like that, which I don't remember if they wanted to do that or not. The only thing I'm going to do is put the ears on this and have a rack mount and then have a surge so that they would just hit that button. Or I might not even do that. If this is going to be breakdown, no, I need to do that because I want to make it easier for them. And I'll do pass-throughs for the Ethernet cables, so hopefully that won't be damaged or anything like that. But getting a new Ethernet cable is easier, and then they can just hit the on and off button. Only thing I'm going to do is plug this up, make sure I'm getting all the updates. I already have my account set up as tech support, so I just need to confirm that and change the name of the ministry and everything inside of my list of computers, and then we should be good to go. I hope this helps. I'm not really going to do a lot of editing on this. Kind of just wanted to show you what's going on. Plus, I'm honestly just dragging from coming back, but this is other stuff. There's no rest in any of this stuff. So this is what I have coming up. This should be a pretty simple install as well. Hopefully you can do it Saturday morning coming up. As long as I'm back home by 5, maybe able to do that Saturday. And I think I think that's about it. Link is down below to everything that we used here. If you ever need any help, you know, you can go to ajhomes.com/consultations and set up a consultation with me. Google Meet, Zoom for the time being. We are going to get rid of Zoom pretty soon. Phone call or on-site. If you send me an email, give me 48 to 72 hours to respond. It's just me. So sometimes I'm not able to get as fast to the replies on my emails, especially if you're trying to do that just because I'm normally doing something. But anyway, I think I already said it. Link is down below to all the stuff we got. Leave me a comment down below if there's anything else that you want me to go over. They do want to do a recording of the training, and I think just because of a lot of stuff that I'm doing, I think I'm gonna do a new playlist of everything of when I do new installs so that clients, churches can watch this stuff over and over again. Because when I do the training, there's no way for anybody to absorb everything that I can do in one day. Everything that encompasses using all this other stuff. But hopefully I can use that as a guide or a FAQ or something like that so that they can always pull that stuff back up. But anyway, folks, I think that's about it. We'll talk to you on the next video. Later.